Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Maggie, Tsai. Thank you for joining us. Volunteers perform plays and hold a food washing ceremony at the Auspicious Mount Prayer Ceremony. A bone marrow transplant receiver in Australia reciprocates the great love by being a documenting volunteer. TIMA Singapore chapter hosts a dental conference in hopes to invite more dentists to join the team. In Mozambique, more than 850 Tzu Chi volunteers and local volunteers work together to hold an auspicious lunar month prayer ceremony. At the event, young volunteers performed 2 plays to promote righteous thoughts and encourage people to express gratitude. A food washing ceremony was also arranged for the participants to practice their filial duties.
Washing and cutting vegetables in the dark, the volunteers are busy preparing for the auspicious 7th lunar month prayer ceremony in Mozambique. Young volunteers performed a drama to encourage people not to be superstitious during the 7th lunar month. After the leading role fell ill, she did not listen to advice from others. She insisted on visiting a witch doctor for healing, which worsened her health condition. She later thought of Tzu Chi's righteous thoughts and went to the hospital for treatment.
Whether in the community or in Tzu Chi, when we fall ill or when our lives does not run smoothly, we should not blame others or be superstitious. Instead, we should believe in God and the righteous thoughts taught by Dharma Master Zheng Yan. This way, our life will be filled with happiness and joy.
In another drama, the audience members are entertained by the pregnant woman. Because the role of the woman is played by a man, Andrew walks very slowly as he carries 20 kilograms of rice in front of him, acting like a pregnant woman. His dedication to the drama has impressed the audience. However, in the beginning, when he heard that he was going to play this role, he was the first person who objected to it.
It is a difficult experience for women to go through a pregnancy. The husband should cherish his wife and feel grateful to her. He should also be responsible and not scold her. He should be thankful to both his mother and wife for safeguarding his home.
Young volunteers wash their parents' feet and give them a massage.
Not only in Tzu Chi, they should also respect and love their mothers as well as other elderly people.
The vegetables used to cook meals are donated from local volunteers and Tsai farms. At the nights before the prayer ceremony, kitchen volunteers set up the tent under the trees and in the kitchen. They step on the ginseng multi-purpose folding beds and cover themselves with blankets to stay warm. As the prayer ceremony in Mozambique, the volunteers have shown their determination to walk the Bodhisattva path.
In Taiwan, 84-year-old Grandpa Wang lives alone in a sheet metal house, and he was unable to clean the house due to poor health. Volunteers tried to persuade him to allow them to help with cleaning, but he refused. When he finally agreed, Tzu Chi volunteers immediately mobilized a team to clean up his living environment. Volunteers climb up the stairs in a sheet metal house to visit a Tzu Chi care recipient, Grandpa Wang, and what welcomes them is a cluttered room with miscellaneous items. Volunteers have been caring for him for a long period, and they wanted to provide him with a better living environment.
Sister Liao Shouzhu has tried to persuade him many times to allow volunteers to clean his house, but he refused. Despite that, she kept on asking, and finally, he agreed to let us organize his house for him.
Sister Liao has treated me like her own family, and she has improved my life tremendously.
After successfully persuading Grandpa Wang, volunteers mobilized about 20 people to help clean the living room and bedroom thoroughly.
Grandpa Wang is old now, so it's not convenient for him to clean the house himself. Therefore, we want to help him to make his living environment better and also improve his life quality so that he can be happier too.
He lives here alone, and there's no one to take care of him. It is hot in the sheet metal house, so we set up a fan to lower the temperature in his bedroom.
You guys rebuilt the room and fixed the ceiling for me. You have taken care of many details in the house, and it's more than I can describe. Thank you, brother.
After the cleaning, volunteers brought some nutrition supplies and new quilts. Grandpa Wang is very grateful and delighted, and his smile is the best reward for the volunteers. In Nanjing, Tzu Chi mobilized volunteers to deliver ginger tea to sanitation workers twice a week beginning in July. Over this period of time, warm interactions between the volunteers and the workers has led to close bonds.
Pouring the first tea into a big plastic bottle, Nanjing Tzu Chi volunteers started to care for the sanitation workers every week.
They have to work for 8 to 10 hours each day, which is not easy for anyone. Through this activity, we can actually inspire our compassion. We have realized that they really need our love and care, so we'll try our best to meet their needs.
When it is hot, you usually send us cold drinks such as mung bean soup to cool us down. It's really great. During the winter season, you also deliver ginger tea to us. I'm very grateful.
Despite your old age, you're still very strong. Although you're 65 years old already, you're agile and energetic.
Over the past 2 months, the volunteers have formed a good affinity with the sanitation workers. Volunteer Yang Huirong is always busy with her work, but she still came to care for the cleaning crew.
I came once and I was deeply moved by them. Although I cannot finish the whole process due to work, I insist on participating in this activity at least once a week.
In every corner of the community, there are warm and caring interactions between the volunteers and sanitation workers. This has become the most beautiful scenery on the streets of Nanjing.
In a remote village of Changsha, Hunan, there is a 16-year-old boy with autism who seldom goes out. He also has a tense relationship with his father due to his authoritarian style. Tzu Chi volunteers paid a visit to care for him monthly, hoping to open his heart. With their efforts, the relationship between this father-son pair has improved immensely.
Walking on this path through the forest, volunteers finally arrive at Zhen Liang's home. He always hides in the dark place of his home. The volunteer hugs him and lifts him up, taking him out of his home. 16-year-old Zhen Liang suffers from autism. Having been scolded very often by his father since childhood, he has a tense relationship with his father. However, it takes time to mend their relationship, just like the process when Zhen Liang accepted the volunteer's love. On their recent visits, volunteers discovered he had not showered for a long time. They decided to bath him. Another time, when giving him a massage, they found he had an ear infection. They immediately took him to the hospital.
知道吗？一天2次，1次2厘啊。记不记得？记得不？
Zheng Liang seldom exercises, so his limbs are very stiff. When volunteers come to care for him every month, they bring him to do some outdoor exercises. He goes from being passive to being active to do exercises with the volunteers. While Zheng Liang becomes more open-minded, his father also begins to soften.
爸爸喜欢你，听见没来？
爸爸喜欢你，爸爸喜欢你，爸爸喜欢你。
This confession of love from Zheng Liang's father helps bring him and his father closer together.
Next, let's look at how Dr. Jian Shouxing successfully balanced the roles of an award-winning TV host and a dedicated doctor during his 30 years in Tzu Chi.
There are signs of edema. The patient is still in critical condition.
In August of 1999, a flight accident took place in Hualien, and more than 20 people were sent to the hospital. Back then, Dr. Jian Shouxing was still young. Now he has already been working for Tzu Chi hospitals for 30 years.
30年前的
As I recall, on August 1st, 30 years ago, my memories are not just in pieces. In terms of the depth of my memories, it seems like 60 years have passed.
30年可以变成60年。全球的观众朋友，大家好。
All About Health has been airing for 17 years now. As a surgeon who's hosting the program, Dr. Jian speaks directly from his heart.
I had actually wanted to quit hosting the show ever since its earlier days.
In this program, Dr. Jian talks about history, art, and most importantly, he translates difficult medical knowledge into easy-to-understand facts and examples.
医疗 这个部分，
We've improved people's acceptance of medical knowledge by making it more entertaining.
民众的接受度也好，这方面也可以提升。
As other program ideas are in his head, Dr. Jian Shouxing does everything, from coming up with program topics, writing scripts, making pictures, to hosting the program.
Since all examples are real-life examples that happen at the hospital, we can learn from these cases and prevent its future occurrences.
Dr. Jian Shouxing has won the Golden Bell Award in the Educational Cultural Program Host category. This TV program is approaching its 5,000th episode.
一次录5集。
The 30 years seems like 60 years because he truly makes good use of his time.
If we can solve the problem when it arises, this problem will less likely take place again.
赶快好起来，回去又健康、活泼、快乐啊！这样的一个居住空间，怪不得他会生病。血压的药你有没有吃啊？我们只是从台湾来，这样短暂。
Coming from Taiwan, they're only staying for a short period of time. A case like this child will always stay in our hearts.
忘记的痛。
那院长他除了去做。
The superintendent takes actions, and he is easily touched by the patient. However, he is also still quite level-headed. He gets quite creative with his work.
确实是双子座的那样，就是对他有一些点子啊。
他们滑得好，我们让得好。
We are recharging our spirits in the fields because the earth directly gives us energy. We should think from the position that we have been given. What changes can we make?
Recalling his 30 years of working for Tzu Chi, Dr. Jian Shouxing still maintains a pure and innocent heart.
饮一杯慈济的水，觉医疗之广阔。
Sharon Fraser was diagnosed with acute leukemia back in 2016 and successfully received a bone marrow transplant from her brother in 2017. Local Tzu Chi volunteers have been accompanying her during the whole process of bone marrow matching, transplantation, and recovery. Nowadays, Sharon and her family are giving back by being documenting volunteers. Her cancer battle is a journey of great love.
In 2016, Sharon was diagnosed with acute leukemia. She went from being an active volunteer to being confined in a hospital ward.
In the beginning, I was very afraid. The doctor told me that I had only a 30% survival rate.
During chemotherapy, the whole body was red and swollen. The bleeding wouldn't stop, but she kept on pushing her family members far away from the hospital.
Time has become even more precious these last few months because Sharon has been sick. But it's actually Sharon who has told us, our whole family, told us and given our family permission to keep going out and doing these activities and not just spending all of the time with her sitting in the hospital room.
After Sharon was diagnosed with cancer, the family actually volunteered more. Due to the illness, their hearts and minds actually became closer than ever.
I was very tired, but I was still very optimistic. I was happy that another day had passed. My children are still young. There are 4 of them. They still need their mother. I wasn't worried about myself. I was more worried about them. What are they going to do?
Due to wanting to see her children all grow up, she actively sought out bone marrow transplant donors. Luck has it, she was matched with her own sibling who lives in Malaysia.
It's a blessing that I'm healthy to help her, and I'm the only one who can help her. I hope she will be blessed with a wonderful life ahead.
You don't let your difficulties overcome you. You need to overcome your difficulties. Light at the end of the tunnel is maybe a very, very long way away from where we were at the beginning, but we are certainly day by day getting closer and closer.
In March of 2017, Sharon underwent a bone marrow transplant in Sydney, Australia. Today, after the most crucial year of her life, her survival rate has increased to 80%. Her cancer battle has truly been a journey of great love.
In celebration of the 25th anniversary of Tzu Chi Singapore chapter, Tzu Chi volunteers are holding a one-month exhibition at Tzu Chi Daai Gallery. The opening ceremony was simple but solemn. On the first day, the exhibition attracted more than 130 visitors. Let's join them there.
To celebrate the 25th anniversary of Tzu Chi Singapore chapter, the CEO sounds the bell and leads everyone to make vows. The opening of the anniversary exhibition is simple but also solemn.
We thought about renting a venue to hold the exhibition. However, after much discussion, we thought our Tzu Chi Daai Gallery is a suitable place for us to introduce Tzu Chi's missions to the public. We can work together on this. Then Tzu Chi's lineage can continue to develop in Singapore.
Tzu Chi Daai Gallery already has abundant Tzu Chi stories, both in Singapore and from abroad. The volunteers also added more content in celebration of the anniversary, so the visitors can better understand Tzu Chi's work in Singapore.
Why are there 5 stands on the table? We will tell the visitors that there was a grandpa who worked as a restaurant caretaker. After the South Asian tsunami, he donated the money he earned. Therefore, there is a story behind the 5 stands we see at Tzu Chi.
He only earned 5 cents at a time. He was willing to donate the $146 he saved. I feel deeply touched.
If you have 1 kilo of rice, you keep 1 handful for the needy. That's what really impressed me. This organization is very good.
In the courtyard of Tzu Chi Daai Gallery, there's the Rhythm's monthly 20th anniversary photo exhibition. In addition, during the weekends, the volunteers also arrange humanistic cultural talks and movies, hoping to attract more exhibition goers to learn about Tzu Chi.
TIMA Singapore has held TIMA Dental Conference 2018 for the first time. In the conference, the attendees shared their professional knowledge as well as humanistic spirit. The conference aimed to attract more dentists and dental assistants to join TIMA and serve more people in need.
TIMA Singapore is holding the TIMA Dental Conference for the first time, attended by 480 dentists and dental assistants.
This is a very exciting time for healthcare. There's an awful lot of rapid movement in the technology and the capabilities now to treat patients. But what we have to try to ensure we keep catching up with is the mission of caring for patients.
这个牙医论坛是在慈济里面哦。
Tzu Chi has never held dental conferences before. We hope to invite more medical professionals and dentists to join our team.
真啊，使他们能够加入我们的团队。
台中慈济 Hospital Superintendent 简守信 also shared Tzu Chi's humanistic spirit in the dental conference.
人医会里面牙科扮演着
Dentists in TIMA play important roles. They not only serve in Singapore, they also go overseas to help the people in need. They provide the hard-to-come-by medical services for the local people. Those people need such services desperately.
当地的民众讲起来是非常需要的。
他们可以They reach out to those in need in times of disaster. Such great love is very touching.
大爱非常非常让人感动的。
It's not about the teeth. It's not about head and neck. It's about the environment, and it's about the people who we live, and we are a team. Be together and taking care of the patients and life and being treating each other respectful and all the environment. It's about the life and hopefully making it better. It's all in our hands.
As the conference attendees get ready to practice what they've learned here, TIMA members will be able to provide even better services.
Next, let's take a look on how TIMA members and volunteers worked as a team to overcome challenges during the preparation of TIMA Dental Conference and ensure the conference could run smoothly.
TIMA Singapore has held a medical conference for the first time. The participants have increased from 300 to nearly 500 people. The conference venue was changed, and the volunteers were busy setting up the venue and rehearsing 2 days before the event.
I can seize this opportunity to learn something and get to know more about Tzu Chi. I will help out whenever I'm needed.
Ko Ti Liang, who's in charge of planning the conference classes, reflected upon his medical career during the process.
Tzu Chi's humanistic culture helped me rekindle my initial aspiration for becoming a doctor. It makes me think differently about my job.
200 people, including TIMA members and volunteers, work wholeheartedly, making sure the participants will feel at home.
I've never seen such a large-scale conference being so well planned.
As TIMA members and volunteers work as a team to organize the conference, they've also felt how Tzu Chi has brought them closer together.
Tzu Chi Richmond office in Canada hosts a 5-day art and humanistic culture camp for children annually, offering a variety of fun and meaningful courses. We'll leave you with these images of adorable children, and thank you for joining us. Goodbye.